Thank you for attending the webinar today. Hello, my name is Denise Ackelson, and I'm Supervisor for School Counseling here at OSPI.
And I'm Yukiko Hayashi-Sagil. I'm a Program Associate for the College Bound Communication and Outreach at the Washington Student Achievement Council.
Our topic today is developing K-12 post-secondary pathways. We will explore resources and information for elementary, middle, and high school related to college and career readiness.
OSPI and WASAC for the second year is hosting the Wednesday webinar specifically designed for school counselors. These workshops are from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Recordings of these webinars are posted on the Ready, Set, Grad website from the Washington Student Achievement Council. Thank you for attending today's webinar. The next webinar will be in March for financial aid. If you are not already registered for this series, you can register with the link that's on this slide. So the efforts for creating a system for career and college readiness is often led by the efforts of school counselors. The work builds throughout the K-12 pipeline, where individual components also reinforce one another. The work is interconnected and can lay a foundation for a school district to use in elementary school until a student graduates from high school. Effective college and career readiness counseling begins in kindergarten and continues each year. Vertical and horizontal alignment is important at each level. Both OSPI and the Washington Student Achievement Council have a vision that after graduating from high school, every student should be ready for career, college, and life. The career and college readiness components are connected. With the new 24-credit graduation requirements and learning standards, combined with the excellent work of Washington's educators in our schools, where all students can graduate prepared for their next steps in life. What is meant by being ready? We will explore resources for elementary, middle school, and high school. The high school resources include career and college-ready diploma, high school and beyond plan with personalized pathways, and 24-credit implementation. Getting definition for college-ready and career-ready is a first step. College-ready means to qualify for and succeed in entry-level, credit-bearing 2-year or 4-year college courses without the need for remedial coursework. Career ready means to qualify for and succeed in post-secondary job training or education necessary for their chosen career. Let's look at these concepts starting with the elementary level.
Elementary school provides the foundation for academic development. Support for elementary school students focuses on the whole child. And at OSPI, we've had elementary folks come forward and say, what about us? And so we're really trying to make the effort to include elementary in all of our work in our K-12 support, not just in school counseling, but our whole department. So helping elementary students develop a mindset about post-secondary can be done through classroom activities, but also with family involvement. This work creates a strong foundation for their future academic ability, leading to college and career readiness, engaging citizenship, and lifelong learning. So in elementary, we know that the counselors create early awareness, knowledge, and skills for that foundation, but they also collaborate. They're excellent at collaboration with community and preschools and other early elementary, but with teachers and district level folks and with middle school folks to develop that transition process. That includes summer transition, bridging that gap, parent meetings, school visits, tours, orientation, but also identifying the needs of the extra academic and personal support for each student. So on your screen, you can see what can be done in elementary school. There are many ways that even in kindergarten, elementary folks can start talking about the world of work, goal setting, decision making. But we also know that in the middle elementary grades, that informal career inventory to explore the possibility of jobs, assessment tools, introducing decision-making models, so that students can really have a realistic view about what they want to be when they grow up. Some ideas that we have seen from around the state include the ones that you can see on your screen, classrooms named after a college or a university, both 2-year and 4-year colleges and universities. And teachers would post I graduated from asked me about it. K-5 students are informed about high school graduation year. Maybe they would put their graduation year and take a picture, college t-shirt day, career day, lots of ideas that we have seen across the state. So that when they get their picture taken about what they want to be when they grow up, that it's not just what you would typically hear, you know, I want to be a famous rock star, I want to be a professional football player, but that they have more of a realistic view because they've done some work with it. Some school districts even have a required guidance lesson or guidance lessons for elementary that starts in kindergarten, and many do post their pictures in the hallways. We see that when we're visiting schools. Middle school is a time of transition, and middle school is a unique time. I know my background has been 16 years as a middle school counselor and teacher, and it's a very special time. So if you are a middle school person, you know how unique your personality might be to align with the students' personalities. Parents can also play a part in this discovery by helping their child set goals for the year, to help them stay motivated and focused, reviewing the calendar together, making a plan for schoolwork, celebrating successes so that problems are headed off. Helping middle schoolers get involved with clubs and other groups is also a good way for them to start identifying interests and feel more engaged in school. So we want to try to help students get on a college campus, a community college or four-year campus in your town or for a summer camp, because we know just by being on a campus, that may help a middle school student have a vision about their post-secondary path. So middle school counselors know that this is also a time for exploring and discovering the rewards of being a good academic student, developing solid study habits, learning the importance of homework, learning to read about their interests, getting involved with extracurricular activities and athletics, and finally, thinking about what would be a good career interest. Middle schoolers can share information, can also share information about auditions, tryouts, sign-ups, those kinds of things that come from the high school. Middle school counselors can also help learn about themselves, help the students learn about themselves and explore the careers that align with what they're interested in. So you can see on your screen, I'll let you look at this for a moment so that you can get an idea of what can go on in middle school. So some ideas for middle schools that we've seen from around the state would be to help middle schools think about career awareness, post-secondary aspirations, post-secondary options, academic planning, what are some employability skills, financial literacy, because we know that in middle school, we often will see presentations like all about me, because that's the stage that they're in. Here's some pictures about some folks that have done some career days in middle school, and it does allow the students to plan their coursework with what they're interested in. Vertical teaming is also important to that transition. And I'm going to let you look at these questions on the screen for a moment. So vertical teaming is important to this transition. I hope that you have a leadership team in your building that is composed of counselors and principals and teachers who can take the lead to ensure that the students are in sync with that transition plan. Because we know research has found that when middle school students take part in high school transition programs, fewer students are retained in the transition grade. Furthermore, fewer students drop out before graduation when the school provides like an advisory group, activity, or even responsive remediation program.
So for high school counselors, in high school, a counselor can help create awareness of a variety of different post-secondary and career opportunities, and advancement available using tools such as career clusters, personality assessments, and learning style inventories to highlight their individual strengths and capabilities. Academic planning needs for skills and knowledge is necessary to map out and plan and pass the academic courses required to achieve post-secondary goals. Financial literacy is an important piece for high schoolers. Having an awareness of the cost of various post-secondary options in order to appropriately engage in career and academic planning for the future is very needed. So what you can see here, there's a lot of different ideas that you can use for students at every single level. We've got it highlighted for each particular grade level, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th here. So if you just want to take a quick peek and take a moment to look at that.
We also will have this PowerPoint archive, so you could go back and look at it as well.
So when compared to high school graduates, college graduates tend to be more satisfied with their careers, rate themselves as happier and more satisfied with life, enjoy better health, be more open to new ideas, be more involved with volunteerism and community groups, attain leadership positions, and more often in their community and workplace. Providing the activities on your screen can help high school students through the process for a successful post-secondary plan. In school, elementary, middle, and high school, counselors work daily with students to help them identify their strengths and provide opportunities for students to experience success and apply their strengths to school success. All school counselors at each level collaborate with teachers and administrators to create a safe learning environment that promotes academic, behavioral, and social success. A part of their leadership is to help create a positive school climate and develop a culture that values diversity and promotes respect for differences. Using the PBIS or MTSS programs, school counselors often help to develop an early identification system for students having an academic or behavioral difficulty to ensure early interventions. In turn, school counselors are there to advocate for students who need the most support. So what is meant by the term college? We typically think of four-year colleges, but we need to refine the idea of college to include the whole spectrum of higher education options that are out there for students. There are technical colleges, two-year colleges, four-year colleges, military training, and industry standard certificate programs, and there's even more. No matter what background or financial situation a student may have, the belief that college is possible is needed for all students. If students are interested in attending a four-year college, admission standards called CADRs, which is the College Admission Distribution Requirements, are required. These are posted on the Washington Student Achievement Council website where you can see what those explicitly are. So in high school and post-secondary career counselors can help a young person choose their path to career success. We hope this guide serves as a broad overview of the topics your students are interested in and are asking about. You can use this guide to find career paths best suited to each student, inspire students to continue their education after high school, discuss financial aid options so every child can go to college or a technology center, map out a plan of what courses and subjects a student needs to succeed in his or her career of choice. Everyone's career path is different. There is no right way to start their post-secondary plan. Whatever career path students choose, remember that they can and probably will change their mind along the way. There are many options, including two-year college programs, technical programs, apprenticeships, internships, military training, and more for students.
So the High School and Beyond Plan is a graduation requirement that is expected for each student. And we've had a lot of people talk about the personalized pathway within the High School and Beyond Plan. So we're going to spend a little bit of time going over that. But the personalized pathway is where students identify their educational goals with a career goal from a career interest inventory. They make a four-year course plan. They identify assessments needed for high school and post-secondary. And as a best practice, middle school counselors need to make sure their students are educated about this requirement before high school or before the high school counselors come over to their school, and that's probably happening right now this spring. Elementary counselors can also incorporate age-appropriate career and college readiness exploration and mention that when you are in high school, you have a high school beyond plan. So it's a non-credit graduation requirement that talks about who am I, what can I become, and how I become that. And it's a culmination of a multi-year process that helps students think about how to get the most out of high school. And we know that the WAC says you have to have a high school beyond plan, so it's open to your local school district how you would like to see that happen. But that could change in the future. I know the last few years we've had some legislation that would try to identify some of the common elements within a high school beyond plan. So when we look at the 24 credits, the implementation of that, we know many school districts are struggling with that, where other school districts have it all figured out. They've changed their system to accommodate the equality for all students. And it may be up to you in your work to make sure that each student understands these requirements and has a plan to both graduate from high school and enter into a meaningful post-secondary plan. And we know that that plan could be a number of different things that Yokiko mentioned. This graphic gives a visual about the 24 credits on the left side. And I'd like to point out that these are the 24 credit requirements for graduation, not called Core 24, because there's only 17 core courses required. Think about this. There's 7 credits that are considered a student's choice, actually 8 if you include your CTE. So the 24 credit plan offers the opportunity for students to develop and follow a plan, but they need to start early, not just their senior year or junior year. So you can see on the left, you have these 3 flexible credits, whether it's 1 art or 2 or world language or not. Then you have the 4 electives plus 1 CTE. So that's a total of 8 courses, which amounts to 1/3 of their courses that they have a choice about. So when we talk about personalized pathway, really you're looking at 8 credits. So the students really do have a lot of choice. These are some questions that we came up with because people were asking, do you have a chart? Do you have a plan about the personalized pathway? And so we just want to say that it is a plan, but you just have to answer in your work, answer some questions with kids. Probably these are the things that you are already doing as a school counselor. How does my career interest connect with my coursework? How does my career interest pathway, how does this connect with my career interest pathway or my college major? And what steps do I need to take? Who am I going to work with? What's my timeline? And of course, what if I change my mind? We know that career planning is not an activity that should be done once. And it is along the way, whenever you have the opportunity, whether you're helping the student change their schedule or you're talking to them about a problem they might have, we know that career planning is looked at in many different ways, and it is a plan for each individual student. This is a graphic about the 16 career clusters, and I'll just let you look at that for a moment. So this would be used in context for studying the traditional academic plan and specific skills for a career. And students should consider several things for making these decisions. One is the most important. What matches my interest? A good match affects the grade students get, how much they enjoy school, and what their college major or their program of study, or if they're a CTE completer, what that might look like later on. We also are looking at the difference between a pathway and a plan. So we're going to talk about that as well. So the personalized pathway requirement is a plan that helps students progress through their core high school content courses from 9th grade until graduation, allowing them to develop strong, positive relationships with their school counselors and advisors who check on them regularly and provide support. But also in this overall plan, you can see how this person might be interested in health science. So their career cluster is health science. Their career pathway would be nursing. And their occupation specifics, they could be a registered nurse by going to get a 2-year associate degree in nursing or a 4-year bachelor's degree, or just a certificate program in nursing as a nursing assistant. And as you know, this might not just happen once, but they may become a nursing assistant and then in 5 years decide they want to get a bachelor's degree. So we know that students have the opportunity to also take courses along the way that align. Honors courses, advanced placement, running start, college and high school, tech prep, and other elective courses that connect to their pathway. So we know that dual credit is a way that some students can further their plan by getting college credit. This would be an example of a 4-year course plan for a 2-year college with a student who is interested in an associate degree in nursing. And you know, as school counselors, these are things you do every day. You're constantly helping students with their 4-year course plan. But I think many times we're, for the personalized pathway, people are thinking that it's something more than what it is. So when you think about this student, it looks like about in their junior year, they took a class in human anatomy and sort of got interested in medical careers. But until that time, they were taking some basic courses. This would be a 4-year course plan for a student who is interested in welding technology. So they took welding and thought metals and materials and thought, oh man, that's great. So their senior year, they went to a skills center. So you can see how their 4-year course plan is different from a 4-year university, where this student might want to go to a university and get a bachelor's degree. So they would have to meet the CATERs that Yosiko mentioned earlier. We also have, we don't want to forget about those students who are on the top of the rigor scale. You know, they want to take every honors and AP course that the school offers. So we call this a 4-year course plan for a selected university. One that might involve difficulty in getting into this university. But it would also involve a high grade point average, high college admissions tests like SAT or ACT, involvement in leadership and athletics and more activities. So we look at the full spectrum when it comes to a plan. So now we're going to just look at data, because we believe that in order for school counselors, elementary, middle, and high school, to be able to drill down to serve your most vulnerable students, that you've got to look at data. And this is so easy. So on the OSPI page, homepage, we have a green button at the bottom right. And we know that this data is one of Superintendent Breakdahl's priorities in order to close the achievement gap. And under this green tab, we have data about equity. And we believe that giving every student or student group what they need to be successful is how we solve this problem. For example, in many elementary schools, 3rd grade marks the beginning of student participation in the state academic test. School counselors can advance equity by participating on leadership teams and using data to identify students who are not proficient in certain areas. And we call this evidence-based school counseling. So OSPI has prepared some interactive charts, worksheets, animations at the school district level to support data-informed decision-making for the equity analytics based on the performance indicators. The breakdown of this data is by race, ethnicity, gender, free and reduced lunch meals, special ed, students who are English language learners, and more. There's also data about attendance, discipline, graduation rate, 2-year and 4-year college enrollment, remediation in math and English, that was just, and the 9th grade failures, which will be released this afternoon. There's a webinar at 1 o'clock about that. And more data is coming. Dual credit will be our next one. So when we talk about evidence-based school counseling, we see that as a new trend. And this means that you're using your data to make informed decisions. Maybe you're using SMART goals to identify a particular group of students, or maybe you're working within an MTSS, a multi-tiered systems of support, or you have a PBIS program. So we're not just talking about high school, but many elementary schools, many middle schools, many high schools are using this data. It's available by district level. So when looking at your data, the trends can ensure transparency to assist you in setting practices and procedures in your school. It can assist school districts as they look at their successes to determine, well, what is working and why is that working? We also use the data to make a gap analysis that can help answer some questions like, Do students graduate with a career and college ready transcript? Are students exposed to foundation college and career readiness information, and much more? So schools can do a lot to foster college and career readiness for all students. That college-going culture is really important with distributed leadership. That means district leaders, school administrators, school counselors, teachers. And then having a college prep curriculum or guidance curriculum is also important. The career prep curriculum also includes CPE, and it supports all students within your credit policies. And we want to help students make intentional decisions about the courses they choose so that when you're going through your registration process, that this will prevent students from making disjointed decisions. So helping students stay on track is very important. We also know that dual credit and accelerated opportunities really help students get college credit, but have confidence in themselves, and it also provides rigor.
So OSPI often has school leaders ask about how to set up an advisory program to help students plan their lives. OSPI believes that using data first in the why helps set the stage for the work. Other components could include advisor training systems, a guidance curriculum, student-led conferences, student-informed scheduling that connects with forecasting and registration of classes, led by a program coordinator with strong administrative leadership and school district support. So how do we close the gap? The work we do to help students in elementary, middle school, and high school is for every student. Second, intentional guidance involves communicating with administrators, staff, students, and parents about the overall requirements at every level. Individually, for students, keeping them on track means that some students need more help. Finally, using data can be directed towards students or systems in a school counseling evidence-based practice. For example, rather than wait for a referral from a teacher, school counselors can access data to find out which 8th graders have 2 or more Fs on their first semester's report card, or which 5th grade students have 10 or more absences in that first semester. Using SMART goals to identify the specifics and make a plan is easy to do when the data is at your fingertips. So the webinars from GATE are about data analytics, and GATE is the graduation, a team effort. We'll host webinars on the second Wednesday of every month from 10 to 11 a.m., and these will focus on evidence-based school counseling. The webinars about OSPI performance indicators are about the topics already mentioned, will help you learn about how to access the tools for each indicator. If you're unable to attend, don't worry about it. These are going to be posted on the OSPI GATE webpage, which is underneath the Secondary Ed tab. So OSPI and the Washington Achievement Council and the Washington College Access Network are teaming up to present some March regional workshops. These are designed for middle school and high school counselors, the college-bound scholarship advisors, Gear Up advisors, and others who work and offer assistance in successful planning for graduation and post-secondary planning. These workshops will include guide participants through the available resources, tools, and data that will help identify strategies for developing an actionable and measurable systems support plan. Topics will include high school and beyond plan, data analytics with a lens on equity for graduation rates, post-secondary enrollment, remediation rates, FAFSA updates, the college-bound scholarship repledge, and more. In addition, there is going to be an optional in-depth college-bound workshop that will be provided immediately after the workshop for about 1 hour. Clock hours will be available. Each workshop is from 8:30 a.m. to noon, and you can register at the Washington College Access Network link, which is on the top of this slide. Do we have any questions at this point?
We hope that you will take an opportunity to think about registering for the regional workshops because they are filling up really fast. So if we don't have any questions, I guess we will move along. Some elementary resources that are free that I'd like to point out are specific for college career readiness or on your screen. And they have games, quizzes, student resources, teaching resources, and more. And there's also an elementary school day, career day activity. So for those elementary counselors, if you don't already know about those, you could access them. Then for middle school and high school, we do have Career Guidance Washington, as many of you know. We have 89% of our school districts in our state who are now accessing Career Guidance Washington. And we're constantly trying to keep that updated so that people can use it. We also know that each student goes through a developmental journey to complete their college and career readiness plan. So Gear Up has a lot of really great things that are on our website. There's the Washington Student Achievement Council Gear Up, but we also connect to that. And then the Counselor Connection from the College Board has elementary, middle, and high school guides, which I would highly recommend. And this would be the link to that for the elementary school counselor guide and the middle school counselor guide, as well as high school. We also know that there's a curriculum for school counselors. It's called Go Alliance. It's from the SREB, the Southern Regional Education Board. It's a national curriculum for school counselors, and you can get clock hours for that. Danette Knudsen over at Waukegan is doing this work, is promoting it and getting courses aligned. We know that there's an elementary module that will be coming soon. Some upcoming events, I hope to see all of you at the Washington School Counselor Association Conference, March 1st through 3rd at the Doubletree. And then we've set our dates for the OSPI, Washington School Counselor Association Summer Institute. The one in Spokane is June 23rd, and we will be partnering with ESD 101 and the Spokane Public Schools there. We don't know the location as of yet, but we will have that soon. And June 29th, we will be in Olympia. We will be again at the Red Lion Hotel. So I know that many of you already subscribed to our listserv because we have 4,080 people. So we are so excited that people are utilizing this resource, and we're very protective of what we send out. We always try to send out what we think is brand new and people need to know. So if you have any suggestions about things you would like to see on our listserv, if I'm sending you too much, not enough, you are always welcome to give me some feedback. And we're just going to open it up again for questions. Well, you know that you can always email us if you do think of some questions that you have. Seeing no questions, then we will end our webinar. We're actually ending a little bit early. So we hope you've enjoyed it and have a great day.
Thank you so much. We will see you at the next webinar.